I'm Aliza Sherman. I am an online marketer, digital strategist, web pioneer. I'm at Port Townsend Film Festival in Port Townsend, Washington. I first went online in 1987 on an Amstrad 1640, dual floppy. I learned about BBSs, so I was on bulletin board systems first. Then I learned about the internet. I didn't learn about the web until 1994, which was 2 years after it was invented. I started designing websites back then and have been working with clients, corporations, and nonprofit organizations ever since. It was the dark ages. It was the wild, wild west. It was desolate in a lot of ways. It was mostly men online. Women made up 10% of the internet population at the time that I was on the internet and eventually on the web. I started a company called Cybergirl to help reach women online. And then I started an organization called Web Girls International to help women learn about the internet to get online. So it was a dual process of teaching women about the internet, at the same time teaching companies and nonprofit organizations how to reach women through the internet. My third book was called Cybergirl, A Woman's Guide to the World Wide Web. And it was a personal look at how to use the internet as a woman and to benefit from it personally. And then my second book, the follow-up, was Cybergirl at Work, and it was for a woman's professional life, career or business, and how to leverage the internet for that side of her life. Back in the day, back in the early to mid 90s, I really just told my story to women about how I learned about the internet, how I got online, and the difference it was making in my life, how I was able to start a business with the internet, all about the internet, how I was able to connect with people all around the world. I was able to gain access to information that I could never get before. It could be personal information like health information. It could be travel information. But the idea of the connection, so connection to information, connection to people, and connection to community, all of that to me was the compelling story about why I should be online. And then by sharing the stories, not just my own, but of other women who were using the internet in very personal ways and very rewarding and enriching ways. That was just another way of helping women get over that hump of, it's technology, I don't know technology. Well, no, it was a connection tool. And then women could relate to that. And so that was the way I worked to convince them to get online. Well, what I just realized looking back, each 5 years, each decade, it's been 2 decades now, is that fundamentally those of us who were building community, communicating online, connecting with other people online, that's the core of what the internet is all about. So as businesses got involved in the internet, as organizations and activists got involved in the internet, ultimately the root of everything we do still is connection. And so that is what I try to instill in my clients, for example, is the idea that it's not about commercial, it's not about broadcast, it's about connecting, it's about building community, it's about adding value for that community. It's connecting to your consumers, your constituents, your customers. That was what we were talking about then. The 3 C's it used to be: connection, community, communication, and all of that still applies. Well, I found out about the Day in Our Bay project through a good friend of mine, Mary Katsky, who is a director, a filmmaker in Anchorage, Alaska. And she asked if I would help her with social media marketing for Day in Our Bay. Now, this was the initial project, so it was before anything existed. There was no film, there was no website, there were no social networks set up for Day in Our Bay. And the concept of the project evolved in those weeks prior to a contest taking place. So in October of 2011, a contest took place to get shareholders from the Bristol Bay Native Corporation to film a day in their life in Bristol Bay, Alaska. So it was up to me and my team to put together the entire online presence for this yet to be realized project. And we built a blog and set up Facebook and Twitter, a YouTube account, and also a Vimeo account for the filmmakers to use. And little by little, we just organically grew a following and had an outlet, a platform for information about the project. And so ever since then, we've been managing the digital side, the online side of Day in Our Bay, including covering Port Townsend Film Festival live and documenting the project manager and the composer as they go through the film festival. So it's really come full circle. It's been just about a year since the project began, and it's been a very rewarding experience, a very meaningful, emotionally touching film about the Native way of life, about Native culture, and about the land that is so precious that we all hold and should hold so dearly.